So, today is a super emotional day for me. I tend to reflect on it every year. I always remember it without a doubt, every year because of how traumatic the experience was for me. But I was in a car accident a few years back. And as morbid as it sounds, I do remember the date because of how, like I said, traumatic it was for me. It has resulted in PTSD that I don't think I've like worked through, but I tend to freeze whenever I'm in this like situation. So I don't know if anyone else can relate, but it just makes me today specifically makes me want to be so much more grateful for the life that I have, what's and all, and the life that I live. I a lot has changed and a lot like there's been a lot of ups and downs with life in general. I think 2025 has just been wild. But I'm so grateful for being able to come out of an accident that I honestly thought I was going to die in. So much has been like blocked from my memory. Like honestly, so much has like I can't remember. But what I do recall is being in the car with my friend. She was driving and us just veering off because we hit a water puddle. And remembering the car next, like smashing into the car next to me. And I was just blank. I remember bits and pieces of it. What I can recall is just saying her name over and over and over and over again. And we were on a bridge, so I kept saying, we're gonna go off the bridge, we're gonna go off the bridge, we're gonna go off the bridge. And when the car did come to a halt, I think I couldn't even process what had happened at that point, or that I was injured, because I did actually get injured. I broke my finger, so if you can see, yeah, I had surgery done because I that bone had shattered, and I remember, being so upset that I needed to that my finger broke one that I needed to go for surgery because I really thought it would be something that would heal on its own. Um, Nonetheless, we I had to jump out of the driver's seat because my door was smashed in, so I couldn't open it. And the cars that we did smash in fled the scene. They were not actually there. We were the only cars, or the only car that was on the bridge. And I don't know, like sometimes God's timing of things is just so miraculous, and there's some things that I can't. It's beyond my ability to explain, but there was an ambulance that was not so far behind us and actually stopped and helped us because they were just on that route. So we managed to actually get checked out immediately while, we had to call for cops and stuff and get everything reported. Uh, it's all a blur. But what I wanted to actually share was that we got robbed. And I'm laughing about it now, but it's actually insane to think about. But we were in the accident. Someone tried to help us, got out of the car. We got out of the car, and they basically stole all my friend's belongings, like her cards, her phone. I don't know what else they could grab at the time. Thank goodness my phone was actually in between my thighs. So when I got out of the car, I actually, like, I had my phone with me. So I don't think anyone saw that. And that's how we were able to actually call for help. Else we would have been stranded as well without a phone until like the ambulance got there. And we didn't like to remember people's numbers as well. So thankfully, yeah, we actually called another friend, and he came out to actually help us. Also, God sent, so super blessed for that. And yeah, the trauma that I went through of rehabilitating my hand after the operation was just so painful. But at this time of year, what I wanted to reflect on and the message that I actually want to share is that you are so much stronger than you think you are. And I think a lot of the time we don't actually realize how the strength that we have, the quiet strength that we have within ourselves. And I remember thinking that I would never be able to use my hand again because I could not lift things. I couldn't even do like make a fist or move my hand like this, and I had to go for like to rehab and essentially get the help that I needed. It was extremely emotionally painful, apart from it being physically painful, to go through that entire process and try to be strong. But always when we come out on the other side of things, we realize like how amazing our mind and our bodies are. I recently put a post up that said that I'm actually learning more to appreciate my body, and that it's carried me through so much even when my mind was not in the right state to think that I would get through something. And so yeah, it's just a little reflection that I have once a year. I'm so grateful like for my friend and I, and that we got out of there alive. She had a lot of bruises. So did I, but luckily nothing broken. And yeah, she had to. Her car was totaled, so there's nothing she could do about that. But yeah, sure. I don't think anything mentally will prepare you for being in an accident. So the PTSD that I deal with now is that every time I'm in a situation where the weather is bad and it's raining, I really, really struggle being on the road. I think when I'm driving, I'm a little bit more okay if I do need to be on the road, but I'm like driving at like an absolute snail's pace. And if someone else is driving, I immediately tense up. I go from being generally like talkative if I'm comfortable with someone to completely being silent, watching everything that I can on the road, every puddle, every water like pooling somewhere. I I'm like super hyper vigilant of like other cars. And it scares me how like before I was even blinded to how people drive when it rains. I think there's this assumption that you like people just drive the way that they do normally when it's raining, and that's like not okay. You need to adjust your driving to the weather at hand. You cannot be driving at the same speed, at the same pace, at like with the same level of vigilance as you do when it's a bright sunny day. It does not work. So it mind boggles me when people are still like speeding in wet weather. Literally a recipe for disaster. So yeah, I think going into the festive, especially with the thunderstorms that we've been having, like I really hope people drive or start to drive with intention again. Like, you know, when we first got our driver's license and we were like looking down at gears as to where everything was shifting. And like trying to figure out how do we look at our rearview mirror and our side mirrors and drive at the same time and clutch and accelerate and brake, and freaking out where we're so like we're looking at everything all at once. And now I think as we mature and become like are on the road for longer periods of time, we tend to become so unconscious about it. It becomes second nature. Now we're like on our phones, drinking, eating, like tending to our kids, whatever, while we're driving. But we don't take cognizance of what we should be, which is the road and the other people that are also driving. Defensive driving is so important. And yeah, I just wanted to say, like, when you get in a car, as as like morbid and maybe lectury as this sounds, you are not only responsible for the life of you and your passengers, but of other people on the road. And I think this festive season, everyone wants to have a good time, but come home and experience 2026. So yeah, I just hope we're all a little bit safer and intentional this holiday. So, yeah, my appeal is to please just be a lot more intentional with your driving and to enjoy every bit of what's left of 2025, but really do whatever you can in your power to make you and the people around you still be here in 2026. Yeah, as morbid as that sounds, I just hope that it made you a little bit more aware.